The Story of William Tell, retold by Beverly Randall and illustrated by Loma Tilders. The Champion Archer. About 700 years ago, a man called William Tell lived in Switzerland. He was the best archer in the country and won many contests. Ever since he was a boy, he had practiced shooting deer and wolves in the forests around his mountain home. One day, William Tell came walking down the steep mountainside to the nearest town. His crossbow was slung over his shoulder and his son walked beside him. It was a treat for young Walter to visit the lakeside town. In the busy marketplace, fruit and cheese and ducks and geese were for sale, and a peddler sold little wooden toys. But today the market was crowded with foreign soldiers. The people of Switzerland hated the soldiers, and they hated the foreign governor who bullied everyone. By the time William Tell and his son saw the soldiers, it was too late to turn back without being noticed, so they kept on walking. William Tell hoped that they could get past. He pretended that he had not seen the soldiers or the tall pole they had put up, or the hat on top of the pole. "You there, stop," ordered a voice, and a group of soldiers stepped out in front of William Tell, barring his way. "Don't you see our leader's hat on the pole?" demanded a soldier. "All who pass must bow their heads to show respect for our leader." "Why should I bow to a hat?" said William Tell. "I see no leader. I can only see a hat." "Is your leader a hat?" Someone in the crowd laughed loudly, and this made the soldiers angry. 3 of them grabbed William Tell, and then the governor himself rode up on his horse to see who had refused to bow down. "So it's William Tell," said the governor when he was told the name of his prisoner. "William Tell, the champion archer. I have heard that you can shoot an apple off a tree from 80 paces. Let me see you do it, and I'll give you one chance. If you hit the target, I will let you go." William Tell nodded without speaking. The governor picked an apple from a stall and tossed it to young Walter. "I know just where the apple must go," he said with a cruel smile. He turned to his soldiers and gave an order. "Take William Tell's son to the far side of the market square and bind him to that tree. The apple can sit on the boy's head." Even some of the soldiers gasped. The boy could be killed. William Tell turned pale. "No, I will not do it," he said. "I will not aim an arrow so near to my son's head." "No, no, no one says no to me," said the governor. "If you refuse, I shall order my soldiers to kill you, and your son as well." Walter spoke to his father. "You never miss your mark," he said. "I am not afraid. I don't need to be tied up." He ran all the way to the tree, turned to face his father, and put the apple on top of his head. "I won't move," he called. "I'm ready." William Tell looked at the arrows in his quiver and chose 2 that were very straight. One he placed in his belt, and the other he fitted in the centre of his bowstring. Now he had to shoot. There was a great hush in the marketplace as he took careful aim. Twang! The arrow sped to its small target. The arrow split the apple and stuck in the tree. A shout of relief burst from the crowd, and Walter ran to his father. William Tell put his hand on his son's shoulder. "You were very brave and you stood perfectly still," he said. "Because of your courage, I was able to hit the apple, and the governor will let me go." The struggle for freedom. But the angry governor did not want to set William Tell free. He glared at him and said, "I did not say you could have 2 shots at the apple. I said I would give you 1 chance. Why did you plan to disobey me? Why did you put a second arrow in your belt?" William Tell was a brave man. He looked the governor straight in the eye and told the truth. "If I had killed my son, my second arrow was for you." The governor was furious. "Seize him," he shouted. "Take William Tell to my castle and throw him in a dungeon, and his son too." The soldiers rushed forward. Young Walter dodged and managed to escape, but William Tell was captured and dragged down to the lakeside. The soldiers tied him up and pushed him into a boat. Then they began to row across the lake to the governor's castle. But when the boat was halfway across, a great storm swept down from the mountains. Huge waves tossed the small boat about, and it nearly overturned. "Untie me," shouted William Tell. "I can take an oar and help you. I know this lake and I can steer us to shelter." When he was freed, William Tell rowed strongly towards a rocky point that jutted out from the shore. Suddenly, he leaped from the boat to the rocks. Then he ran for his life. By the time the soldiers struggled ashore after him, their prisoner was well up the mountainside in the safety of the forest. Later that night, he reached his home to the joy of his wife and son. William Tell knew that in the morning the soldiers would be out searching, so he took his family and went to hide in a secret place higher in the mountains. During the months that followed, many other brave men from the mountains and forests joined William Tell, and they formed a small army. In the end, the governor was killed and all the foreign soldiers fled from Switzerland. William Tell had made his people free. The end.